Hi everyone, welcome to the Stina Show. Tonight's guest is Melinda Hall, who is a theatrical and visual artist. And yeah, excited to bring her on. Hey girl, hey. Welcome, Melinda. Hello. I see ya. Yes.
Someone who knows technology. I love it.
Come back. Okay.
I'm here.
Ah, ah.
Hi.
Hey,
How are you, dear?
I'm good. How can I do this so I don't have to look at myself at the same time?
You have to, my friend.
Ah!
So, who is she?
What the hell are you doing here?
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Go to
How
your
you
own
doing?
damn show.
Yeah. Hey, is there two people on this show?
There's only room for one. Just one.
How you doing? How you
Yeah,
been?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Let's talk in our New York accents tonight.
This is how we talk.
This is it. This is it. What accents?
You don't
What are
even
talking-
realize you have one, I bet.
No, I know I have one. I know I have
It's
one.
not as pronounced.
You know, it comes out in certain words.
For example.
Like, what do you call that thing that you keep your socks in? It's not a dresser, but the dresser has these things. What are those things called that you pull out?
Drawers.
Right? They're drawers. You open the drawer. But
Drawers.
then when you have a pencil and a piece of paper and you're making an illustration, what is that called?
Drawing.
Drawer.
Drawer. I'm a drawer.
Yeah, I'm making it. I'm gonna drawer now.
Right, we
wanna-
add an R in the
you wanna
wrong place.
Do you want to draw a picture of my draw?
I would love to.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen you in, I don't know, I guess obviously over a year at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Quarantine is real and alive.
Yeah.
When's the last time I saw you? It was Shakespeare class. You're my Shakespeare coach, teacher, wonderful person at SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah. So that had to be February 2020 was the last class at the conservatory.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And then that's such a fun class. I can't wait to go back to that class.
I've asked about them doing it like on a Zoom thing, but they're telling me like it's not organized for that, it's not set up for that, so whatever.
Well, no, eventually it has to be. I mean, that's part. I mean, I guess SAG Foundation. That is the SAG Foundation. Oh no, it's the SAG
No.
Conservatory.
Yeah, it's differently. Oh, somebody's saying hi. Hello.
You see the comment.
Javier.
Yeah, brr.
Brrr.
I like the brr. You've been hanging out too much with the cats there, Melinda.
Yeah, my kitty does make that sound.
How cute. You have two now, right?
Yeah, they're little beasts. I'll show you at the end of the show. We'll do a cat cameo at the end.
I can't wait. The new one looks wild.
Every day's an adventure. Yeah.
So I like to start my people saying, when you were little baby Melinda, did you know you wanted to be a performer or an artist? And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember always wanting to sing and dance and act and make stories and do puppets and direct. I mean, always. One of my earliest memories is when I was maybe about 5, and I had an older brother who that time was probably about like 14, and I was folding a big bed sheet, and I told him he had to put the bed sheet over his head and be a lion, and that his lines were roar, roar, and of course he's 14-year-old boy, teenager, and so he does it like half-assed. He does it like roar, and I remember distinctly that I told him he was doing it wrong. I was like, no, you got to go roar. Like,
Traumatized.
that was my first directing experience.
That's funny. Wow. That's very funny. And so you just continued down that
Yeah,
path.
after that, Shakespeare. Actually, well, actually, when I learned then that there was a scene in Midsummer Night's Dream where there was a lion that had to roar, I was like, oh, I'm meant for this job. Like, I've already done this. I've already done this job, age 5. But yeah,
Put it on your resume.
definitely. I wonder where that bed sheet ended up. It was gold. I remember it was gold because it was like in the 70s. And I remember like, oh yeah, I definitely, it reminded me of a lion costume. I was like, okay, perfect. We got the costume.
Yeah, right. That's so you were also wardrobe. You didn't even know.
Yeah, yeah. Very inspired. Very
Producer,
inspired.
you name it. So then you kept going through like a middle school, high school.
I did. I was in public school growing up in Putnam County, which isn't that far from here in Manhattan. We're in Manhattan right now. So it's like about 50 miles north of here. So not too far from where you grew up, right?
Yeah, Merrick, Long Island.
Oh, Merrick. Okay, yeah.
New York.
Yeah, Merrick. So let's see. Wow, I don't know. I mean, there was a drama club like at my high school, and it was awful. I remember it was terrible. It was run by this lady named Edna who chain smoked during rehearsal. And like she literally looked like she had crawled out from under a rock. Like and like light would hurt her eyes and like yeah. Yeah.
So you weren't in it? I wasn't either in mine because I
was
you were in it still?
I was in the plays, yeah. Yeah. I was probably terrible, but I was definitely in it. No. Well, probably not probably. I was definitely terrible. I remember once I was like, I had to be, I think a nightingale, a bird, and my line was like, squawk! Like that was like my big, I think it was about my birdie or something. Or no, Princess and the Pea. Princess and the Pea. It was like some, comic role. But I got laughs. And then I was like, oh, okay. All right.
Audience reaction, theater.
Yeah. And I got laughs. Okay. Yeah.
It sounds like you like playing or in the world of animals so far.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Your through line is animals.
I do. I love animals. I do. I really do.
Well, people are animals, I guess, huh?
Well, then I don't love all animals.
Let me think about this.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I feel that. So then when did you get into Shakespeare? I mean, besides your 5-year-old moment.
I remember reading parts of Macbeth when I was like in middle school, high school, and liking it. And even though I didn't quite understand why I liked it. And then I remember we had an English teacher that slogged us through Romeo and Juliet, and nobody understood anything. And in hindsight, I think that was probably a pretty common experience in most high schools. It was forced upon people. Yeah. They didn't understand anything. It wasn't fun. And then but then I started just reading Shakespeare on my own just because I wanted to. And then when I went to college, I knew I wanted to learn more about it, but there wasn't really good acting classes for it. Like I was putting myself through college, working 2 jobs. Like I definitely did not have any money to get like great training. I was always very jealous of people who could go to like a premier acting school or a massive university with a big drama department. I always was like fascinated with like, wait a minute, you don't have to work 2 jobs? Like you just like go to class and then go home and then drink? Oh my God, you're so lucky. Yeah. And so I remember when I graduated college, I really wanted to learn more Shakespeare. And I went to go see the Dallas Shakespeare Center, the Dallas Shakespeare Festival performance of King Lear. And King Lear was played by Earl Hyman, who's a massive, wonderful Broadway and TV star, in his time. And his performance like really made me convinced I needed to learn more about Shakespeare. And so I auditioned for a Shakespeare Conservatory in New York for a summer program. And I was super nervous because I thought I sucked, like everybody does, like at a big audition. And I walked into the room, and like a month earlier, I had been in a play downtown. This was in Dallas. I'd like gone to finish school in Dallas. Like,
Cool.
oh yes, it was a bad decision, but you know, whatever. um, and
No regret.
oh yeah,
Big regret.
all regrets. Oh, my kitties are making like a lot of noise right now. Sorry.
Oh, they're cute though.
They're like chasing each other. There's going to be like crying. There's going to be crying soon. I know it. So I think yeah, there's a Shakespeare Conservatory program. I had to go audition. And I remember I tried to learn Cordelia's speech, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. No idea what I was going to do. And then I remember it. If I could heave my heart into my mouth, you know, like that line that she has to tell her father how much she loves him. Then I got there, and the guy running the audition wasn't feeling well. And he said, Melinda. And I was like, yes. And he said, oh, I saw you in a play last month downtown. There's some play. And I said, oh, yeah. And he said, okay, so do you need a scholarship to get into this thing? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he says, okay, well, look, I'll put up the paperwork. I'll submit you. And I'm just not feeling great. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Later, I learned that he was going through chemo and stuff. So So he was like, yeah, I got to go. But no worries. You're in. And then I was like, got in the car in the parking lot, and I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, right. Where'd this guy come from?
Well, like, I wanted to audition so badly, but then it was
Right.
kind of better that he saw me in a play, because I'm sure that was a better, like, I did much better in the play than I would have at that audition. So then I went to this acting school summer camp thing for Shakespeare in upstate New York that following summer, and I really liked it. And then the next year I wanted to go back to the conservatory program that they had, but this was during the AIDS crisis. So I did 1 year of that. And then what happened was two of my teachers died from AIDS. And so the second year I was supposed to go, back to finish the program. The school didn't find adequate replacements. It was a mess. And then I was just suddenly like, I wanted just to learn by myself and to meet mentors. And I happened to meet Earl Hyman back in New York, like at a bookstore. And I told him that I had basically gone to acting school because of him and how much I like admired him. And he invited me to go see a play that he was doing at the Public. And I gave him my number, and I thought for sure he was never going to call me. I was like, yeah, he's like a famous actor, and I'm a maggot, and he'll never call me. But then this is when we had like answering machines. On my answer machine, came home like a few weeks later, and it was like his voice, which he has a big, deep voice. He was like, Melinda, this is Earl Hyman. You're coming to my play. And I did. I know. I wish I had saved that tape. Anyway, but then I went to play, and then we became friends. Over 25 years, we stayed friends and became more and more closer and closer and closer. And then when he had a stroke, he ended up in a nursing home in his later years, and I visited him like every week for a couple of years. Wow. And then on his 90th birthday, I arranged for him to go visit the Folger Shakespeare Library in DC. Wow. And he had never been there. And it was just like such a thrill to bring him there. And they treated him like a king that he was. And they showed him all these like priceless Shakespeare scripts and maps from the Elizabethan era. And yeah, they just like went to town with like treating him very, very well and making him the guest of the day. And they provided him a lunch, and all the researchers and the scholars and stuff came to like pay homage to him. And I actually have it on video. I can share a video of it with you.
Yeah, please. That sounds, I got the chills before.
Yeah. And it was just the highlight of my friendship with Earl is to be able to bring him to that space. And so I also helped him arrange to donate all of his memorabilia to the Folger from his Broadway career. Because he was the actor who, like, one of the first African Americans to play all these classical roles, like King Lear and Macbeth and Othello and
legend.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, yes. Before James Earl Jones got the chance, Earl played, I think, Othello like 6 or 8 times, and in different languages. He also learned Norwegian and played them in Norway. Anyway, so he was just
so he was worldly too. That's so cool.
Yeah, he's just very special to me. It was very, very special to me.
He sounds larger than life too. That's cool.
Yeah, actually, I'll show you a picture.
Yeah,
I have a picture here. Let's see if I can get it.
What a connection! That's beautiful.
Can I actually show you a picture?
Yeah, there it is. Oh no! Look at you guys.
Wait. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh my God.
That's when I was young and pretty.
That's when Earl was young and pretty.
Earl always stayed pretty. Even when he was 90, he was pretty.
Oh, because he has a genuine heart. He looks beautiful.
He is a beautiful man. I still feel him. You know how some people pass, but you still feel them. I still feel his friendship.
He looks powerful. Yeah. So I'm guessing he was one of your inspirations, obviously.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. Also, too, he was so kind. And then when I was teaching Shakespeare at Stella Adler in LA, he was teaching Shakespeare at HB in New York.
Wow.
And we would just exchange notes about trying to teach people Shakespeare, what that was like.
I knew you were awesome, but you just went up a whole nother level. The more I discover you, you're such an awesome person. You know that, though.
Oh, thank you.
You're very humble about it. But when I first your brain is it's Shakespeare. I mean, it's art. But from when I met you, you're a Shakespeare genius. That's what I met you as, which is so cool.
Thank you. I hope we can do a show. I hope we can do a show someday.
We can. Remember, I'm going to play Romeo. Don't forget that. I have to start doing that.
Yes.
But yes. But we can talk forever about Shakespeare. So let me shift gears because I know that. Oh,
can we answer Javier's question first?
Sure. Yeah. Javier said, like an actress, what's your favorite Shakespeare play?
I have to say King Lear because of Earl Hyman. And if you don't know, if you're one of the 3 people out there watching us, if you don't know Earl Hyman, Google him up. He also played Bill Cosby's father on The Cosby Show, if you remember that show. Yes. Wow. Yeah, Google up Earl Hyman.
And King Lear. His IMDb, his list is probably huge, his repertoire.
He never got a lot of film and TV. He really loved stage plays.
Well, that's what he loves, right?
Well, also, too, I think at the time, it was just very hard for a Black actor to get any sort of roles in Hollywood that were leading roles. He came up in the 40s. So it's just the obstacles and the doors that were closed to him were just so numerous. But him as a New York actor, he had a community here, people who called on him and believed in him.
Very fortunate. Yeah, New York is the place to be for theater, right? Well, not today, soon.
No, not today.
I mean, let me, you know what? Let's just talk about the Sonnet Slam before we leave Shakespeare behind, because you created that, right?
Yes.
Shakespeare Sonnet Slam.
Yes.
And how did that come about? And that's every year in Manhattan.
Yeah. So 12 years ago, a friend of mine who's a journalist said, what would be cool is if you did a Shakespeare marathon of some kind. Because there were people that did it. And actually in Oklahoma, I think there was a public reading of the sonnets at the Senate that went on for 7 hours or something in Oklahoma. And I read about it and I thought that was fun and interesting, just ordinary people reading it. And so my friend Robert Ferris, who's in Austin, who's a theater critic for the Austin. Oh my God, now I can't remember the name of the paper he writes for.
Tribune?
Whatever. That paper in Austin said, yeah, you know, you should do like some sort of big like Shakespeare party thing. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's do like a marathon of the sonnets. And Robert said, no, I'm a journalist. You do a marathon of sonnets. Like, it was just at lunch, and I was like, yeah, let's do it together. And Robert Ferris was like, no, thanks. But so I thought, how to do that? How could I do that? And also, I didn't want all actors. I wanted everybody, and I wanted all ages, and I wanted it to be very New York, you know. And so we started out at the band shell in Central Park for the first 8 years. And then the band shell, coordinating with the band shell in Central Park and the Parks Department and then Conservancy was very difficult. I didn't realize that those two entities actually don't get along that great. And like, if you want to book an event there, it's actually not easy to get them to help and coordinate and do things. And it was just hard. And so one of the years, the last year we did it in 2019, publicly, I got a friend who worked at Riverside Church and showed me those spaces, and that was a really cool space. And also I thought it'd be easier on some of our performers because it was inside, it didn't worry about the weather, there was a bathroom, you know, like
right.
Not
like a public bathroom.
No, right, not like the little girls' bathroom in Central Park where the toilets are like an inch off the ground.
Yeah. Like, they're children's. It's so strange.
They're teeny little toilets.
I love the band shell though. That was my first time playing there, and that was so fun.
I have photos of you, like, you know, getting out there in the crowd. And also, I wanted like to make a space where anybody who wanted to get in front of the microphone could do it with the sonnet, and you know, just have it be open. You know, if somebody walked by, they could listen. If they wanted to keep going, they could keep going, whatever. But doing it at Riverside Church was actually kind of different. But we did get some public people that go to events at Riverside Church that like hop, you know, like that stop by. But it's not as public, obviously, as doing it in the middle of Central Park, where there's like a wild card, you know, thing.
So it's on Shakespeare's birthday? Is that the special day?
It's around Shakespeare's birthday. We only know when his christening day was. His christening day was April 26, 1564. So people think that it's April 23rd because there's also his death day is April 23rd, 1616. So they put it as April 23rd, but at the time nobody issued birth certificates. People only issued baptismal certificates that were kept at the church because it was home births. And, you know, so usually after 3 days, the kid would be baptized unless there was things at the church that prohibited it, like other kinds of, you know, like celebrations or religious events that you could not have your baptism service there. Yeah.
Well, thank you for creating that, because it's a wonderful thing for the community, and I can't wait to do it again in person. Let's pray.
Soon. Yeah.
Speaking of
this year it'll be online. It'll be virtual this year.
Oh yeah, right.
If you go to www.sonnetslam.com, you'll see the information. So there's two ways you could participate. You could send in a video of you doing the sonnet, or you could do a live read. So I'm trying to work with my stage manager right now to figure it out.
Cool.
How to do it. So Hollywood actors, yeah. Actually, Javier, yes, we actually got some Hollywood people to do sonnets. Stacey Keach. Yeah, Javier is going to do one. Stacey Keach came and did one. He had his own show called Mike Hammer that was on the air in the 80s. And then Stacey is also in Luther. I think he's in the show Luther right now.
Wow.
And Stacey last year in October sent in a sonnet video of him doing a sonnet that we broadcast, but he'll do another one. One year he came live, and then his daughter came, and then Also, one of the years we had Andoa Aljo, who this year she's on Bridgerton. So
Wow.
if you've seen Bridgerton, you've seen Andoa, and then she did a sonnet the year that she was touring with Julius Caesar. She came to the bandshell and did that. And then we've had Dana Ivey, who's been in a lot of movies, a lot of movies.
I remember her.
Yeah, she's great. And then last year, 2019 rather, Jane Alexander was one of the sonneteers. And Jane Alexander was in The Great White Hope with James Earl Jones in the 70s. And Jane Alexander is also one of the presidents of the National Endowments for the Arts in the 90s.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
you know, we've had a lot of different kinds of folks come up and
Badass
do it.
people.
Oh, Michael Urie has done the Sonnet Slam a lot of times. He was on Ugly Betty.
Nice.
If anyone's seen Ugly Betty. And Malik Pancholi, he was on 30 Rock. He's done
Oh, he's really all over the place.
He's so good.
He performs. I've seen him perform on several occasions in random venues and situations. He gets around in the community.
Yeah, he's a great actor. And yeah, a great guy. And if anyone is like interested in participating in the anti-racist movement for Asian Americans, Malik is part of one of the groups that you can see them on Instagram if you follow Malik. Like you can kind of see things that they're doing and outreach that they have and resources for Asian Americans who might need help or any kind of support that's out there. So it's wonderful.
Great.
You know, it's definitely necessary.
Oh, right now it more than ever always has been, but right now we need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop Asian hate. That's what it is.
It's more than that. You know, I mean, America is a deeply, unfortunately, not a loving place for people to feel safe. And
It's become that, which is so annoying.
I think it was always that.
You think so, or do we just when you're younger you don't realize, huh? When you get older, you're like, uh-oh.
I think it depends on
This
who
is what's
you are
happening
when you're younger. You know, if you're in a community that
Right.
you know
Of privilege or not, right?
Right. Or an international community, obviously it's like it's, you know, more acceptable, you know, it's more accepting. But if you're not, if you're in mostly a white community, it is, I think it's an obstacle for the real world. Like I think that community is like closed and yeah, just derogatory towards anyone who they, you know, who I don't know, keeps that brutality going of white supremacy. And you know, it's a problem. I mean,
yeah, it's the structure, it's the infrastructure of the country emotionally, and we're battling it daily to get rid of it. And God bless, as long as we're doing the work, you know.
yeah, but I mean, teaching anti-violence is going to has to be taught, and definitely controlling weapons has to be taught.
Yes.
They're and supported, and not letting greed like
Well, that's what it is.
common
Greed
sense.
has taken the wheel. Yeah.
Well, greed has jeopardized common sense. I mean, do you want a preschooler to die in a classroom?
No.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Having been in classrooms for decades, all ages, teaching at elementary schools here and there. I mean, I remember the last time I was a guest artist at an elementary school, one of my thoughts was that I could die on the job.
Wow.
Like, because we worked in the auditorium and anyone could walk into the auditorium. It was an elementary school campus. The door is open to the public. It was an elementary school. So like, I definitely had that thought, and nobody should have that thought,
That's
especially
terrible. Yeah.
especially an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, that's just not okay.
No.
Rah.
No, I know. So, see, I post my politics on Twitter. That's where I like do all my work. But
Yeah, I don't know if it's political. I mean, I don't know if the word politics actually works here. I think it's humanity. You know, I mean, I think that.
well, I mean, like all things humanity, right? Umbrella of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I usually wear a Breonna Taylor mask when I start the show, and I decided to stop because there's so many causes I could be wearing on my face, and of course she still needs justice. However, I need to focus on where those energies go towards getting justice, because
Yeah.
it matters.
I mean, there's big questions and actions. You know, there's questions about, are you actively aware of your own, you know, bigotry,
Right,
racism,
right.
conditioning, you know, and then what are you going to do about it? I remember when I was taking some training for being a teacher, for teaching adults, there's anti-bias training that New York State requires teachers to take for adult teaching. And what it is like, it's the given. You will have a bias. What you do with that bias is something you can control.
Right.
Right.
Reacting.
Like,
right.
Yeah. Or how you look at your own bias. But to say that you don't have a bias is a lie, right? Because we're all
we're born with it.
Bias
we're
system.
born with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so anti-bias training, I think, does work. I think it is effective, but I do think it has to be consistent training.
Yes.
You know.
And there's a lot of things that could also be shifted in the teaching system, right, is what we're saying here.
Yeah. But not just have it end when you're out of school. I think like anti-bias training is for adults or, you know, people in my age group that never really thought about it or became passive or,
right.
I don't know, or kept in their own bubble and they didn't, you know, they didn't realize like how their neutrality was actually harmful to other people, you know.
Well, and themselves, because down the line those decisions will come back. Or running, right? Passivity is the worst, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we all do what we can do, but I do appreciate that this year some people are taking responsibility for their actions and looking at their own bias. I think that's a good step. That's a good step one.
Accountability, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a million other steps that have to happen, but you know,
one at a time.
One at a time.
So I think this could go into, I could say it because it's two X's. Mind fucks.
Yes.
Two X's, F-U-X-X, but that's the name of your script. You're a writer and a director.
Yes.
What inspired
XX. It has
XX?
the XX at the end because of the chromosome. The female chromosome is XX.
So when did you start writing this?
So last April I got COVID, and as I was sitting in my apartment thinking like, this is it, like this, wow, that sucks. Like, I don't really want to go out like this.
Well, you look good. That's crazy. You went through that.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. Don't get COVID. So when I was going through it, I had joined an online writing group, and I realized that some of the people in the group were writing very like impersonal, very mundane, very flat like work, and I wanted to write very like, I wanted to swing in the opposite direction. I wasn't going to be like, I didn't really want to just like write for writing's sake. I wanted to write something that I had held inside for a long time or not expressed, and that meant something to me. And that if it had to be my, you know, in my obituary, yeah, sure, the sonnet slam can be there, but I also wanted mindfucks, F-U-X-X, to be there too, you know. Yeah. And so mindfucks is it's my sweet femme rage play that breaks your heart while making your blood boil, you know, like that's how I felt about like, you know, when you're kind of looking at your life and wondering what the hell happened. Yeah, that's where
I love the characters. I love how relatable and clear they are and who they are.
Thank you. They're all people I know and also myself. So for, you know, since my play's not famous yet, I'll tell the other 4 people that are watching. It's me,
you know, people come and go.
Yeah, that's true. They could be totally different 4 people. There's a central character called Lifetime, and then she's with her emotions. with rage and hope and compassion. And they sort of like battle it out with controlling her and looking back in her life and all the things that she's mad about.
Which is a whole
Like,
laundry list.
yeah, like gun control and, misogyny and just bullshit, stuff. So,
Which are still big issues that.
yeah. 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 Yeah, it's funny. Even though I wrote about them, they still exist.
You don't realize how much power you have, Melinda.
They didn't go away. They didn't just like, oh, Melinda, that misogyny thing. That's so old. Oh, my friend Sapa wants to talk about the cats. Okay, we're going to do that at the end. We'll definitely do the kitties at the end.
Yes, we will. So do you plan on producing this?
Mindfucks? I submitted it to a lot of big writing festivals. And so we'll see if I can get a commission from it, or a workshop out of it.
Do a table read. I'll read with you.
It had a read. It actually has had 2 reads, one with the Breath of Fire Latina Theater Ensemble out of Long Beach, California, which is an amazing organization if anybody wants to look them up.
I've heard of them.
The Breath of Fire Latina Theater Ensemble. They're really good. They do a lot of work, a lot of producing work from a lot of different writers. You don't necessarily have to be a Latina writer or Latinx writer to join in. You can support them as an actor, or you can be in a writing group, or, lots of different ways. And then the Parsnip Ship, which is a play development company here in New York that does like podcast readings of plays, allowed me to do a writer group review thing, which is like, they have a play club. It's not exactly like a book club. It's a play club where different writers can read your script and then everyone can like chat about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got to hear what other people say about it. And yeah, I'm happy with my first draft. It's definitely a first draft. But I don't know. It's just something that had to that lived in me that had to get out.
That's cool. Congrats. It's a nice baby.
So which character would you play out of the 4 women in the play? Who would you pick?
I like Hope.
Hope? Really?
Hope. Yeah. I try to have it,
Yeah.
I try to be hopeful.
But even Hope Hope loses her shit when no one listens to her, eventually.
It's like any positive person.
Yeah.
Or trying to be,
Yeah. Like my favorite scene is like when Hope confronts anger and realizes like that anger is not going to go away, or rage isn't going to go away. And Hope was like, well, let's just kill her. Which is like not something that you think Hope will advocate for, is like murdering rage. But, she's practical. She's like, rage isn't going away. We can just end this.
Solutions. She's full of solutions.
Exactly. It's a solution. It's just a solution.
Right. And Hope is multidimensional. They're all multidimensional.
Thank you. Yeah.
But they're led by these factors. They're led by these dominant traits, right?
Yeah. I mean, to me, they're like how I act in different environments. Some environments you can be hopeful, and some environments you are just enraged by just walking in the room, or what someone says to you, and some you have compassion for. So yeah, I think that it came out of me being accepting of my own changes in behavior depending on like what I'm exposed to, or what I'm or what I'm reacting to.
Accepting it is, I was thinking that on the way over here driving. Just accept it, that to have a child, it takes 9 months of pain, right? And then this crazy experience of torture and labor to create this beautiful, beautiful thing. Like, we have to accept that these little births essentially are happening, and it doesn't matter. It's not one
Yeah.
feeling. There's not one feeling behind it.
Right. Exactly.
Don't chase the old feeling. Keep it moving.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hard to do if you struggle. You know, I mean, today I was working with a client and I had to ask, like, so what's something that's important to you? You know, what issues are important to you? And you and I have talked about this before. Mental health is really important to me, for people to be identifying, you know, what they need, and like to try to get mental health out there and resources that people need to have a better life. You know, I feel like the stigma for getting help is still present, and
Yeah.
everybody needs support. And I wish as a society that we would come to recognize that. And like on every corner there could be, you know, counselors or therapists or somebody to lead you, you know, to hold your hand and say like, oh yeah, you know what, that seems like an anxiety thing. No
Well,
worries.
a non-biased professional.
Mm-hmm.
Non-biased. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Everyone else in your life is biased except for this one person.
I had a friend, I had a counselor once who said, well, you know, some people say I should be impartial, but I'm actually on your side. And I thought that that was like, oh, that's nice. I like that.
Aww.
Be on my side. Yeah.
Yeah, and a good professional gets you. And if they're smart, they get you, period. Like,
Yeah.
I remember mine got my spirituality in depth, and I was like, who is this person? You know?
Yeah. It's like anything. I think you want to work on it. And I think that just taking the stigma out of common mental conditions like would do it. You know, if people were more free about talking about depression or anxiety or you know, family dynamics that struggled with mental health. I can recognize like so many in my own immediate family,
Right.
and they never got help. You know,
Right.
they never got help because of the shame of it. And that to me is really sad. And I wish that they would get help, but they just don't.
Well, it's also self-care. It's like you really have to fight for yourself in these, to show up to these appointments, to get your insurance for these appointments, to like the person you're going to. There's a lot of factors, and people don't even want to start that path.
Oh, it's too hard, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's overwhelming.
Yeah, and like it's not on every corner, and people can't just be
Right.
like, "Oh, I'm going to pop in here and, you know, chat with somebody."
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's easier to buy weapons than it is to get mental health.
Yeah, fact. And
Like-
health and insurance for health.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's something that I feel strongly about, that I would like to advocate for, you know, is to, yeah, stand up for people, like to be able to get help if they're going through a bad time or grieving or mourning or recovering from illness or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that you can like probably volunteer for like one of those 1-800 numbers, right? They have those.
I just put in my application not to work for mental health exactly, but for working for women, to try to advocate for the marriage law to be over 18. I'm not sure if you realize this, but in a lot of states, there is no mandatory over 18. So that means a 15-year-old can marry a 30-year-old.
Oof.
Yeah. But there's an organization that's called Unchained at Last. And Unchained at Last is a grassroots lobby organization to try to get a federal law or all the states to be over 18.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's not the case right now.
I can't believe that. It's so stupid. Well, good luck. Keep me posted on what's going on with
Yeah,
that.
I want to, like, I'd love to work for them. Because, like, most of the things, like, when you think of teen marriage or forced marriage, a lot of it is you think, oh, maybe there's two teenagers, two 16-year-olds. But actually, that's not what the statistics show us. They show us that it's usually a girl under 17 with a man who's at least, like, over 20.
Ugh, please. Yeah.
So that means that, like, in the last 10 years, I think there's been 250,000 cases of forced marriages with girls under 18.
Right. So this prevents another illegal activity, right?
Yeah, it's like far reaching. A lot of it's religion, a lot of
Right.
it's just or the girl gets pregnant and the family forces it or whatever. But one other interesting weird thing I learned is if that happens to you when you're 16, but then when you're 17, say this man hurts you or you want to get out, you cannot legally get a divorce until 18. You cannot get a divorce if you're a minor child, but you can get married if a judge allows it if you're a minor child, but not divorced.
This is like, you know, the judge who did this married an underage person, right? But anyways, I have a few more questions. Let's
Okay.
keep moving. My mom is Pisces Con. She said, "Do you perform?"
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, when I get a job.
What kind of performance do you like to do?
I love comedy.
You sound like
I like,
me. Hey.
I like comedy. I mean, honestly, I like, being in short films or films or learning or writing sketch comedy and getting to do a bit part. Like I just wrote a little sketch comedy piece with somebody and I put myself in there as a bit part just because I love it. I used to get a lot of stage fright when I was younger, and now I don't really have that anymore, luckily. So I like it. I like it. I like getting up there and creating a character. And, I haven't done as much as I wanted, I think, recently for lots of reasons. But it is fun. It's a different kind of fun than directing.
Are you, you're in
Sorry.
SAG-AFTRA. Are you also in Equity or?
I am. I'm in Equity and SAG
Nice.
and the Dramatists Guild, which if you are a playwright, they're a great group too. Yeah.
That's cool. So you're in it, and you get all the notifications and.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's lots of opportunities. I mean, I like
Yeah.
the fact that a lot of people are doing short films and viral videos and Meredith, hello. My friend I met at the last party I went to last year.
Aw.
Just joined us.
Bring it back, Meredith.
Yeah, let's go to a party. It seems like
Bring
such
it
a.
back.
Hey, remember we met at a party? No, that's
No.
crazy talk.
Well, you can now in this, right? I don't know the protocol these days, but wait, I have questions. Do not read those comments yet, Javier.
Okay.
Wait, you asked too many questions, Javier. You have to wait your turn. Deep quote or enlightenment experience, if you have one to share. I always ask my guests to bring one.
Yeah, I like this quote, which is "One touch of nature makes the whole world kin."
Wow.
And that is a Shakespeare quote from Troilus and Cressida. And for me, it means something that happens to the world happens to all of us.
Ooh. Too
Yeah.
good. Too
One
good.
touch of nature, yeah, one touch of
Too
nature
good.
makes the whole world kin. I love that one.
Hi, Amber. That's my acting coach, Amber.
Oh, hello.
Amber. We love Amber. Wow, I love that quote. Wow. Because we're united. We're one, right?
Yeah.
And Ken is, right, little babies. And Kim. Oh my gosh, that's great. And that's your favorite? Out of all the thousands of Shakespeare quotes, that's your favorite?
That is my favorite because it's direct and to me, it's the power is in nature. One touch of nature makes the whole world kin. And that to me means like nature could be a good thing or it could be a difficult thing. It could be a beautiful day or it could be a tsunami, right? But it can bring everyone together.
No matter what the attraction of it, right? Wow.
Yeah, like we're all subject to nature. We're all here because of Mother Nature. And it's easy to lose sight of that when everything's so comfortable or but the pandemic showed us one touch of nature makes the whole world kin, right? Like
Did it ever?
So comfortable. I didn't realize like what a brat I was thinking like I could go eat anything I wanted at any time because I had a craving and I wanted this little whatever cookie or something. Like I didn't realize until all that was like, no.
Bad.
No, you think you can go buy a muffin? No, you cannot go buy a muffin.
Oh man.
Yeah, no. There's no muffins for you, girl.
Not fair.
But it was like like thinking about what I was finding important, you know, is that freedom. Like, of course there's going to be muffins.
But not tomorrow, right? That's true.
No, Melinda, you're going to bake your own damn muffins. What? I am? Okay.
Yeah, but at one point there wasn't toilet paper, so I don't know what to take for granted or not.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to eat all the muffins I can, Melinda. You only live one.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, just like and then the urges of like what normalcy was. I remember for a long time, like I was, you know, obviously stuck at home and I was sick and I wasn't, you know, not feel like I wouldn't go anywhere for weeks. And then one day I went up to Fort Tryon Park and whoever their gardeners were on duty. They were planting, there were spring flowers, and I saw colors, like I saw purple and yellow and red and pink and white and beautiful colors, all these colors. And then I realized like what I hadn't seen in like a month was colors. Like just being in my own apartment, obviously it's not the same as being around flowers or like a variety of colors. And I just cognitively was aware for the first time, like I missed that. You know, I miss seeing like that beautiful visual satisfaction of seeing pretty things, you know.
And they're alive too, and connection and
beautiful and complicated. Right. And, you know, the fact that the plantings are very, you know, they keep them a little wild up there, you know, but overall, like they're abundant, you know, just the abundance of all those colors was like very, I don't know, kind of tugged my heart a little bit.
Yeah, Jim Carrey did a short film or an article or something where it was like, I needed color. He said he was in like the darkest point of his life and all he needed was color. So he started doing his artwork and he found all the colors and his freedom in that, you know?
Yeah, it goes into the brain of, you know, what is pleasurable aesthetically, visually. Yeah, it's important.
So we have a few minutes if you want to tell us some current projects, future projects, and where to follow you online.
Okay, sure. Current projects, I'm working on Mindfucks, that play.
XX for female chromosome.
If anybody wants to read Mindfucks, let me know. I'll send you a copy. I'm also working on this project for underage marriage, like to end forced marriage. I'm actually writing a play of it. It's called The Pretty Age of Juliet's. It's about inspired by Juliet being in a forced marriage, but kind of contemporary forced marriages. I'm doing that. I'm producing the Sonnet Slam, which will be April 24th. And that Twitter and Instagram handle, I think, is @SonnetSlam or @Shakespeare Sonnet Slam. But if you Google Sonnet Slam, you'll find me. I'm the only Sonnet Slam.
She made the Sonnet Slam. She created the Sonnet Slam
out there. Oh, now I get the hearts. Now that I call myself a slut, then I get the hearts. You know what? It's hard to be a slut in a pandemic. Let me just say that.
I feel you, girl.
Like, there's no kissing.
No, barely hugging. I have to like sneak a hug around the corner, you know.
You hug the corner?
Around the corner. I have to go and find someone to hug. So no one sees me. Yeah, I work with a lot of people. Thank God. I need them.
Oh, you could actually hug someone.
Yeah, I'm very grateful.
Yeah. I have.
Want me to take a trip to the city, give you a little delivery hug?
Please. Okay, Percy hugs me.
Yes. Oh my God.
Percy, do you want to give me a hug?
He's so cute. He's like, I'm kind of, yeah. He's so cute. Percy. He's your new baby, right?
Yeah. It's Purrcy. Percy.
So cute. And where is
Meredith is saying people find a way. Now, do they find a way to hug or do they find a way to be slutty? Both, Meredith. Both. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm not finding my slutty ways enough.
You're not tapping in.
Sad. All right, I'm looking for Bianca. Oh, yes. Oh, definitely.
Bianca.
Bianca looks like a freaking beauty queen.
Oh my
Wait, did you
gosh.
get her? Wait.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Bianca. She is beautiful. Hi, pretty girl.
Hi. Oops. I'm trying to like get her face, which I think I'm doing a bad job. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there she is. She's so cute. Hi. Oh my God. Look at them. Are they both black and white?
Yeah, they're tuxedo cats.
Wow. And you just
Bianca's
got
like,
the other one recently.
yeah, I did because
Percy,
in New York
shall I say?
City they stopped all the spay and neuter trucks, so all the animals are not getting spayed or neutered
No.
since the pandemic. So all these rescue groups have like oodles and oodles of kittens and puppies, and so I met a lady who kept showing pictures of all these kittens, and I went to visit her, and that's it.
Oh, well, they're beautiful. Thank you for sharing them.
Yeah, they definitely, animal therapy.
Yeah, you're not alone. That's good. Some people can't even have pets in their building.
Oh, I know that's really really, really sad.
God bless, right? No, thank you. I wouldn't live there. Who even says yes to that anyway?
I did for 20 years. I didn't have pets. I lived in LA and, I never could afford a pet deposit. Are you kidding? I know.
Get out of here.
I know. Do you have pets?
Yeah, do I have
You have a
pets?
dog, right?
My house has 9 cats and 4 dogs.
What?
Yes, I live in a zoo generally. Right now I
9?
don't, but yes. 9. 9,
Okay.
enough. Nuevo.
So how many lives is that if each cat has 9 lives?
1,000. I don't know. A lot of lives.
I failed math.
Hey, that's where actors don't do math. You know that.
Oh man. But yeah, great to hang with you. I don't know
Yeah,
what
you
time it
too.
is. Are we out of time?
Yeah, just about. Yeah, we got like
Yeah.
2 minutes. But I know, good to hang with you too. I always tell people come back when you have more. I know we could talk forever, but when you have more, productions happening or
Well,
to
I do
promote.
teach a Shakespeare class that's focused on early modern framing, and that is with the Japanese theater group Amatera Suza. But anybody can attend it. It's all kinds of folks in there. It's right now. It's on Saturdays at 1 online via Zoom. But it's going to probably switch to a weekday when the weather gets good so everyone can go play on Saturdays. But if you want information for that, definitely you can just email me and I'll send you an invite. And the actress who runs the group is Akko. I don't know if you remember Akko. She's done a lot of great theater here in New York. Last year, right before the pandemic, she was in The Suicide Forest, the play The Suicide Forest by Haruna Lee. If anyone's heard of Haruna Lee, amazing writer, incredible play. So Akko was in that show, and she's just been in a lot of wonderful, wonderful shows. So if you
Where
want
can
to
they
join
email you?
us, yeah, it's just my name, Melinda Hall, MELINDAHALL, Melinda Hall at me.com. You can email me and I'll send you the invite to Akko's group. It's $10, but the best $10 you'll ever spend.
I know. I mean, even the conservatory is the best. I miss it so much, and I miss you and your teaching and your infinite wisdom on Shakespeare, and it's so good. It's so good. I love your brain. I love your brain.
Well, I like teaching online now because we share a Google document and I can put in like pictures and early modern references and etymologies of words and like a lot of visual aids, and like it's fun. It's really fun.
Cool. I can't wait. I got to get in. I know once I leave this job, I'm coming soon.
How long are you working? You're
As long
on
as
duty
I
now,
can. It's volunteer, so as long as I could put up with it. But I really miss doing more performance classes, so I don't know how long I'm going to last. But I'm there now, serving, doing what I can, and then I'll be back soon.
But are you in the Naval Reserves?
Yeah, I'm in the Navy Reserve, so I'm federal. I do 2 days a month and then a few weeks a year. And then I'm volunteering through state active duty right now, so it's state orders, and I could totally leave whenever I want. It's just they just promoted me, unfortunately. So I'll probably wait a few more weeks. I love you. If you're listening, I love you, and
I love you, big brother.
And I will do what I can to support you. And this isn't about me, Melinda. What have you done? You've hijacked it with my stuff.
No, I was just curious because, like, I mean, I remember when you went into the Navy, and then we actually haven't really talked like a lot
about it because of class, which is fine. Just fine. We'll talk offline.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you're safe and everything's good.
Thank you. I'm glad you're writing and soon to be directing online for now, and so people email you for the class and follow you for more. You're the best, Melinda.
Follow Snappy NYC or whatever. And
I should just bring you on for another topic. Let me know what other topics you want to talk about, and I'll bring you on.
Sure. How about like physical fitness? Like I've been like interested in roller skating. I'm like totally doing roller skating right now, and a lot of hiking, and I want to like learn some hula hooping. I don't know. I'm just sort of in a fun. I'm like regressing to my 5-year-old self. I think like.
Get it, girl. It's time. Spring is here. Okay. And I got both vaccines. Herd immunity is on its way. Okay. And here we are with your animals again.
See, it comes full circle. All right. Mwah.
Okay.
Mwah.
Thank you, Melinda. Thank you for joining.
Bye, everybody. Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you soon.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Another Thursday on the Stina Show. I don't know who next week's guest is, but we'll see. I hope everyone has a good week. Deep breaths. I know I can use some breath work and more water, probably. I love you. Thank you again. And I saw you, Patrick, Kavia, Amber, Meredith, Levy. Hi, Lisa, Mom. Thank you, everyone, really. And Rodriguez Lopez. I see you all, and I love you all. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.